Hey, I wanted to make a quick video for my annual Literary Nunnery roundup. For those of you who don't recall, because I didn't make a video last year, this is when I talk about all the books that I read over the past year. And the list and the recommendations are going to have to be in a blog post, and I haven't written it yet. I haven't figured it out because I've just been so overwhelmed with the stats. And so this video was just going to talk about the stats because it was a wild year, 2024. Okay, so for books that I read, like actual published books, it was around 72. And just so you guys know, that's insane. I haven't been under 100 in years. But of those 72, only 7 were rereads. So that's less than 10% were rereads. And that is also very unusual. Usually at least 25% of what I'm reading I've read before. And also, of those 72, 5 were nonfiction. I usually get 1 or 2. And so that's also a very high percentage of nonfiction books. So big change for me this year, or 2024. Happy New Year. Happy Lunar New Year. That was last week. I'm only a little behind. But it's not that I wasn't reading this year. It's that I was mostly reading fan fiction. And I've been including fan fiction in my roundups for a few years, but this year was also wild. So if we consider a novel-length fan fiction to be at least 50,000 words, I read 70-ish, well, I honestly read 95-ish novels, fanfic novels, 70-ish of them for the first time. So that's where all of my reading time went, to these novel-length fan fictions. And so, of course, 25-ish were rereads. And most of these were actually Harry Potter fan fiction. I don't know if I'm ever going to read the series again, but I remember enough about it that I can find interest in these wild alternate universes that people are up to. You might think, how does anyone have a novel length of something to say about Harry Potter? And the answer is, well, they just take it a completely different direction. What if, I wrote these down, what if the Grangers adopted Harry after first year? Grangers are Hermione's parents. What if Draco Malfoy went back in time after the battle and decided to change how things went? What if Harry talked to a snake and it told him about the basilisk, and so he went to Scotland and lived with the basilisk for the rest of his childhood, he was 6? These and more were the type of things that I read in 2024. Non-novel length, or total fan fiction, not novel length, was 450. And I actually wrote it all down so I could do pivot tables and stuff like that so that I would know. Of those 450, let me just see how many of those were 300 of those were rereads. So a lot of my time still went to rereading, even though so much of it was new novel-length stuff. Anyway, I will link the blog post so you can see the actual list of books and the actual book and fanfic recommendations that I have. And this is me signing off.